Okay, so I've been reading through some of the comments on the video I made yesterday about Dylan Mulvaney and Jeffrey Marsh. And what I wanted to say is you're all wrong. Okay? No. All right. What I wanted to say is clearly from reading the comments and then watching my video back, I think probably yeah, I think I have to admit I probably didn't express myself as well as I could have. I think I'm sorry to break it to you, people, but I cannot edit all of my thoughts into a concise 10-minute video on something as complex as the trans movement. And some would say, therefore, I probably shouldn't say anything at all. I, on the other hand, would say, I'm grifting for likes. And this is how I earn my next meal. Okay? No. What would I really say? Let's try and get serious. I think there's a lot of legitimately concerned people in the comments talking about how people like Dylan Mulvaney and Jeffrey Marsh are a negative influence on young people. And obviously I am very aware of the negative stuff that kids are getting exposed to nowadays. Lots of different things. Aspects of the trans movement obviously are incredibly complex, and there's a lot to talk about. I want to try and clarify, though, what my point was about Dylan Mulvaney and Jeffrey Marsh, which, again, I don't think I expressed very well. I admit that. Clearly I didn't, because the comments that were criticising me, I didn't really feel like I'd been understood, and obviously that's my fault. And that's not me being passive-aggressive. Like, obviously I didn't explain it well enough to you. You clearly didn't quite understand what I was going for, you know? Right? Let me break it down for you. So I'm not trying to do that. Really, I'm not trying to do that. That's not what I'm trying to do. Anyway. No. I think it's a very complex issue. And the thing is, I see far more egregious things on Twitter every day. Anyone who follows me on Twitter sees that I'll retweet things every day about that same subject, about the trans movement, about well, I suppose, negative influence that certain TikTokers and content makers have on young people, the indoctrination we see in schools and certain things. There were a number of people wondering whether I had kids, and maybe if I had kids, I'd understand. And then there's the context of where I live. I live in Spain in a very sheltered community. You know, here in northern Spain, it's a very sheltered life. You know, we don't get a lot of this identity politics, and you know, it's not like living in a big city in the UK, or certainly in the USA. So I understand that it comes across as ignorant if I kind of sounded like I don't think these issues are important, right? I'm trying to, again, I've launched myself into this, and I'm not being as precise or as concise as perhaps I should be, but what am I going to say this time? What am I going to say this time? I'm going to make at some point in the next couple of days, I'm going to make a video about J.K. Rowling, which is something I've been thinking about doing for a while, and I wanted to make one about Roald Dahl as well, because they're the publishers have decided that they're going to bring new editions out of the Roald Dahl books that have been heavily edited, and I was going to have a look at that. But then I saw a podcast that came out a couple of days ago, which details the life and career of J.K. Rowling. It's an interview with her, and obviously all the shite that she's been through as a woman. And I do admire people like that who are not afraid to tell the truth. She says in the podcast that she isn't worried about her legacy. That's not what she's thinking about. She's not some pompous twat that's thinking about, being beloved forever by Harry Potter fans. She's not worried about that. And I admire that. And I don't intend to be a coward. I'll say what I think about things. It's just, with Dylan Mulvaney particularly, less so with Jeffrey Marsh, there does seem to be a sort of, that at least to me appears to be a self-awareness. It seems like a parody. I have to reiterate that it does. However, there is the wider issue, which I didn't get into in the video, of the implications, of course, of normalizing that kind of behavior, that a man can just be a woman because he says he is. I don't agree with that. However, another thing that a lot of people criticised me for in the comments was me taking the piss out of Matt Walsh from the Daily Wire. I don't disagree with Matt Walsh on a lot of things, on many things, to be honest. I don't know what it is. It's sort of the vibe you get from certain people, isn't it? He sort of seems very serious all the time. And, working for Ben Shapiro on the Daily Wire, I really like Ben Shapiro. A lot more than Matt Walsh. I don't know why. He just comes across as more sincere and more entertaining, and I feel like you learn something when you listen to him, whereas I don't know, with Matt Walsh, I've never felt that. I could be completely wrong. At the end of the day, I'm just here trying to have a laugh. I'm just trying to have a laugh. Can't you see how funny this video is? Right? What's wrong with you people? And now I'm self-conscious because I got a comment the other day that said, stop checking yourself out off camera. Have you ever sat down in front of a camera for 8 minutes and tried not to look at yourself? It's impossible. Right? And where was I? Yes, I'm going to make a video about J.K. Rowling because I want to. All right? And I'm not sure what tone to do it in. Am I going to go full-on sarcastic and call her a TERF? Trans-exclusionary radical feminist. I get the feeling that the timing wouldn't be great, given the hailstorm of criticism I received for my last video. The point I'm trying to make in tonight's video is that I hear you. I hear you guys, okay? And, what can I say? I'm not perfect. I don't always bash the trans community as much as you would like me to. You disgusting bigots. No, I am joking. Can't you take a joke? I'm checking myself out on the camera again. Yes, I am. All right? You got a problem with that? Tell me about it in the comments section. I read all the comments, It's just some days it's harder to respond than others. You know, I've got kids. And and a day job. And a wife. And they take up some of my time, you know. And, yeah, of course, identity politics is a problem. But I do feel the tide is turning. Don't you feel the tide is turning? I feel the tide is turning. You know, to be completely vague and figurative. I think there has been a backlash. I was listening to Ben Shapiro and Piers Morgan talk earlier tonight, and on what's his program called, Talk TV. Piers Morgan Uncensored, and they were saying, I think that the tide is turning, and I think the backlash has sort of overtaken the woke movement. Don't you think so? I feel like it has. And that is probably part of my problem with sometimes with Matt Walsh, sometimes a little bit with Candace Owens, who again is someone I like a lot of the time. You know, I agree with a lot of the things that she says. And Matt Walsh. But it just feels that they're unnecessarily serious sometimes. And I know the issues are serious, but I can't exactly put my finger on it. It's like, I feel like you need to do it with a bit more humour. Or at least with something more to say about it. Like me, I've clearly got a lot to say. Like in my video yesterday, I informed you all loads, didn't I? I said, Dylan Mulvaney's hilarious. Why can't you just have a laugh? You know, I get it. I get the criticism. It's probably not my best video. And what do you want me to do about it, eh? Have I not suffered enough? Are you going to burn... I've not actually produced anything. You can't burn my books like J.K. Rowling, which is the video I'm going to do soon. Did I say that? Did I mention that? Well, I am. She's been through hell. Battered by her ex-husband. Attacked by radical Christians. Now by the woke mob. She's a woman who suffered. She understands the importance of telling the truth. What a bloody articulate, intelligent woman she comes across as, by the way. Which I imagine she is, you know, being one of the greatest, best-selling novelists of all time. And she's got my vote. I've got her back. I'm glad. I'll bet J.K. Rowling is glad that I think she's a pretty smart gal, you know? I bet she's watching this. Or she will watch it at some point, you know. And it's the same thing, really. And she'll think, thank God that's a small YouTuber from northern Spain thinks I'm articulate. I do. She wrote lots of nice books, the Harry Potter books, and they were very well written by all accounts. I haven't read them. I don't have time for wizardry. Eh? I'm 33 years old. Granted, they came out when I was a child of reading age, and all my friends read them. All of them. I didn't. No, sir. Nope. Not I. I had better things to do. More pressing concerns, like having a laugh. Alright. I want you to chill out. Anyway, I've finished my glass of wine now, so it's probably time to wrap this one up. Rant over. See you in the next one.